All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're unpacking the wild, fast-moving world of large language models. And to do that, we're digging into a fantastic new report from the tech research firm Virtualization Options LLC. They've mapped out the entire AI kingdom, from the reigning king to the challengers at the gates and even the heir to the throne. It's going to be a good one.
So, first things first, what are we even talking about here? Large language models, or LLMs. You can think of them as these AI brains that have basically consumed the entire internet. All that training on just massive amounts of text gives them the power to understand and generate human language, which is why they're behind everything from your everyday chatbots to some seriously sophisticated tools that help people write code.
I mean, it really feels like this technology just appeared out of nowhere, right? Which brings us to the big question. How in the world did we get here so incredibly fast? Well, the answer is a period of just explosive growth.
And wow, this timeline really tells the story. Think about it. Back in 2018, GPT-1 had 117 million parameters. Think of those as little learning dials for the AI. Just a year later, GPT-2 jumped to over 1 billion. Then, bam, GPT-3 comes along with 175 billion. And since then, the whole field has just gone nuclear, with tons of competitors jumping into the ring. We're talking about going from a tiny experiment to a massive global industry in, like, the blink of an eye.
So all this crazy growth has created a pretty fascinating battlefield. The Virtualization Options report frames it perfectly, like an AI kingdom. For a while, there's been one dominant ruler, but now there are some seriously powerful contenders making a play for the crown. So on one side, you've got the king, OpenAI's GPT-4. It's a true all-rounder, a multimodal powerhouse, which means it gets both text and images. But its main rival is Anthropic's Claude 3, who we can call the Guardian. Its entire philosophy is built around safety, using something called constitutional AI. It's like having a set of unbreakable rules hardwired into its brain. The result? Super clear, predictable answers, which is exactly what you want if you're in a field like finance or healthcare, where you absolutely need things to be by the book.
Then you've got Google's Gemini, the powerhouse. And its biggest strength is just how deeply it's woven into, well, everything Google. It can pull real-time info from search, talk to your maps, and plug right into business tools. But then there's this totally different movement, the people's champions. We're talking about open source models like Llama 3 and Mistral. These give developers total freedom and control. You can run them on your own machine for privacy, tweak them for specific tasks. It's fueling this huge wave of community-led innovation.
Okay, so while that battle is raging, the report shows that OpenAI is already getting ready to drop the next big thing, the heir to the throne. And GPT-5 isn't just another update, it sounds like it's a whole new ballgame.
So what's the big deal? Well, it seems like GPT-5 is making a massive leap in two of the hardest, most valuable things an AI can do: complex reasoning and, maybe most importantly, writing software.
And look, they've got the numbers to back it up. 74.9%. That's the score GPT-5 got on a super tough test that throws real-world, messy software engineering problems at an AI. That isn't just a little better, it's a state-of-the-art result. It shows this thing can really understand and write code at a whole other level.
And this isn't just some lab test, A case study from Cursor, an AI code editor, put it really simply. They called it the smartest model with half the tool error rate compared to what came before. For anyone who codes, that's huge. It means way less time fixing mistakes and more time actually building things.
So what's the secret sauce here? Well, the architecture is just really, really clever. Instead of one single massive model, it's a whole system of models working together. There's a router that acts like a traffic cop, picking the right-sized model for whatever you're asking, from a tiny nano model for something simple, all the way up to a deep thinking model for heavy-duty reasoning. That makes it way more efficient. Plus, it has a 26% lower weight of just making stuff up, which makes it a whole lot more trustworthy.
And this incredible reasoning power, it's not just for writing code. That same intelligence is starting to make huge waves in other really complex fields. Healthcare is a perfect example.
I mean, just look at this jump in performance. On a really tough medical test, GPT-5 scored over 46%. That is a massive leap from GPT-4o's score. It shows a much, much deeper understanding of context, which, is absolutely crucial when you're dealing with something as important as health information.
Okay, so we've got the king, the guardian, the powerhouse, and now the heir apparent. That's a lot to take in. So how on earth do you choose the right one? Well, the key is to stop asking which model is the best and start asking which model is best for your mission.
So it really breaks down like this. If you're building complex software and need the absolute best performance, you're probably looking at GPT-5. If you're in a field where safety and rules are everything, Claude 3 is your guardian. Live and breathe the Google ecosystem, Gemini's integration is a no-brainer. And if you need total control, privacy, and flexibility, then the open source champions are calling your name.
The report actually boils this down to a really simple 4-step thought process. First, figure out how complex your task is. Second, what does it need to be able to do? Code, reason, something else. Third, look at your resources. What's your budget? And finally, just match the right model to your mission. Simple as that.
You know, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's the absolutely breathtaking speed of it all. What sounds like science fiction right now will be the standard tomorrow. Every new model, like GPT-5, doesn't just get a little bit better, it sets a completely new bar for what we thought was even possible.
And that really leaves us with one massive, kind of exciting question. As these incredible tools get better and better, able to write our code and make sense of our most complex data, the question isn't just, what can AI do anymore? It's, what will we do with it? What's that next killer app that's going to change everything? That's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.